Today's show with a major victory for the opponents of water privatization. I'm talking about Stockton, California, a place that's long been at the center of California's water wars. In late 2003, despite concerted efforts by a wide coalition of groups, the Stockton City Council voted in favor of a $600 million 20-year water privatization agreement. The deal gave a multinational consortium made up of the Colorado-based OMI and the London-based Thames Water full control over Stockton's water, sewage, and stormwater systems. Well, 2 weeks ago, the city of Stockton reversed its earlier position and voted unanimously to undo the privatization deal and resume control of its water utilities. Before we go to the current victory, let's go back in time to the Stockton City Council vote in favor of privatization in February of 2003. I want to play a clip from the PBS documentary Thirst that brought national attention to the struggle in Stockton.
You'll safeguard the water of Stockton. You have the absolute commitment of our company, and you have the commitment of Thames Water to deliver this contract effectively. That's also, as the president, my personal commitment to you.
It is clear that the decision to privatize has been made covertly without a public vote.
I don't think the people at home realize how many hundreds of people were here and that it's all filled up back here and downstairs and that it was hard to hear. So I appreciate
City Council members, by signing this contract without the vote of the people, you will be betraying the people you supposedly represent. Water is life. This company, OMI Thames, wants to profit from our water. Water for life, not for profit.
I'm ashamed that we followed this path and have gone down the road of making something happen that was not consensus building, not citizen involved. It was basically handed down as a dictate. This is not the principle of an all-America city.
Okay, Councilmember Giovanetti.
Thank you. I'm prepared to approve this contract tonight ahead of the so-called vote of the people. There comes a time when the people become so involved in an issue that it is important that they be heard by way of the ballot.
As a Christian, I've always felt that prayer is very powerful. And when this process began, I've always prayed for guidance on what I should do. It says it in the Constitution that you will elect your representatives to vote and to make decisions that are best for you.
We have not been elected to babysit and maintain the city until a vote can be taken by the citizens on major issues.
I do not feel they are too dumb to understand.
Nobody said that.
And, you know, the people who founded this republic obviously didn't think the people were too dumb to run it.
Neither Gloria and I or anyone on this council believes that the people are too dumb to resolve or to understand the issue. That's not what we...
All right, quiet down. Just so officers, close the door, please. Tonight, I want to thank the council for their indulgence and their endurance and their hard work to come up with whatever their answers are tonight. Do I believe that this should go to a vote of the people? Absolutely not. And that's for no more reason than I can think any government by initiative is good. There's been a motion and a second. I'm calling for the question. Please cast your votes. Carries 4-3. Thank you all for all your hard work.
With that, in 2003, the Stockton City Council voted for the privatization of their water supply. This an excerpt of the award-winning PBS documentary Thirst on water privatization in Bolivia, India, and the United States. Alan Snitow is its co-director, also a board member of Food and Water Watch, and recently co-wrote the book that delves deeper into the implications of water privatization in the United States. It's called Thirst, Fighting the Corporate Theft of Our Water. Alan Snitow joins us from San Francisco. Welcome, Alan, to Democracy Now!
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for having me.
Talk about what happened since 2003 in Stockton, California.
Well, what's happened in Stockton is really quite an extraordinary victory and transformation. It proves that privatization is really fundamentally flawed as a model for something like an essential service like water. What we've seen in the past 4 years since the private consortium took over have been spills, sewage spills, with the failure to inform people at the height of the summer when the river was people were using it for recreation and swimming. There was a pass-off. Who was going to tell people that the water actually had fecal matter in it? You're talking about a series of problems in which you brought in a lot of temp workers, non-union contractors. There were spills into irrigation ditches. There were fines. There was lack of transparency. People couldn't find out what was going on. The rates went up. There's a series of problems, one after the other, so that in the end you got not only unanimous City Council reversal of its decision 4 years earlier, but even the mayor, who had been pushing this in the past, the former mayor, said he agreed with the council decision. The city newspaper, the Stockton Record, which had been a supporter of privatization, said they supported the council decision. There was no one willing to go to bat for this consortium, OMI Thames, and the only reason that people are not really getting down on them in public is that they signed a no disparagement agreement. This is the way things work when you make a contract with a private company for something that's really an essential service that people have a right to have on their, this is something that is too key. It is really, they'd say that police and fire and schools have to be something that's in the public sector, that's run for the people. Well, there's something else that also has to go in there, and water, and some of us would also say, I suppose, health care.
Well, but how did Stockton get out of it? It was a 20-year deal. And how did this consortium approach Stockton?
When people say that there's a